All right. So now doing keyword research, for instance, in shower niche, which is one of the things we want to use as an example. So what I've done with this article is actually particularly say I broke down the shower niche into what are the things that is needed to gain topical authority for this niche. So which could be the same thing around what it is you're trying to do. So often than not, when you're hearing the word pick a niche, pick a niche, the reason why it's described as you pick a niche is so that if you see a documentation right or wrong in that niche, it will be easy for you to know, and effortlessly you will be able to do justice to your knowledge with respect to checking out if something is right or wrong and actually providing information. So, for instance, what we're looking at right now, which is keyword around the shower niche, which is what I pulled out for them here, is so not unless you're working in that industry or you have basic knowledge about that industry, you might not know the words that exist in that industry. Like right now, okay, so if I want to write on the shower niche, so what are the things inside? So shower design and installation. Even the shower design and installation is further broken down into bathroom remodeling, bathroom design, bathroom renovation, bathroom plumbing, bathroom what is this? Okay. So pretty much what you need to understand with respect to keyword research is this, which is the first thing you need to look out for. What is your understanding of that niche? You do not necessarily need to be an expert in that niche, but you having basic knowledge of that niche will go a long way to actually helping you at the end of the day to ensure that you get the most result with this. So when you pick on a niche, hold on just a minute, let me check up this. All right, so just got another call on another line. Okay. Pretty much for every single niche you're looking at, what you need to understand is, let me give you an example like I did to one of you that we had a call some days ago. Let's break it down to some few certain things you might be familiar with in this part of the world. Say, for instance, let's say malaria, for instance. When people are searching online, what are they going to search for? Is you that is, let me say, medically savvy or something that will call it malaria. For the average citizen that want to search and research something about malaria, is possibly going to say, I'm having cold in the morning, hot temperature in the evening. Why am I shaking? I throw up after eating and all the rest of them. They will narrate different things around their own understanding about how they are feeling in order to be able to get to the response or the answer of, say, malaria, for instance. So basically, when it comes to keyword research or when it comes to a niche, you need to understand what are the words around that space. If you say you're dealing with relationship niche, okay, so what is the word around relationship? Divorce is one word. Dating is another. Extramarital affairs is another. As in, on and on and on. You need to look at what are those things around that niche, around that space, that when you talk about marriage, what are those things around the element of marriage that people talk about, that people want to know about? Uh, Wedding cake, uh, grooms, the list could go on endlessly. But when you do not have a broad understanding or your mind is not open as regarding the niche, you will often see the niche to be a little bit narrow. And however, the niche is not necessarily narrow, is simply how broad your mind is with respect to you understanding the niche. It's just like what you're seeing right now when someone asks me this question, sir, we would need an help with, I want to do interior. And I asked, when you say you want to do interior, what in interior do you want to do? Do you want to do kitchen? What exactly? And it came up, okay, so I want to do the bathroom. Okay, so what in the bathroom do you want to do? You need to narrow it down further down. Okay, so it comes up to, okay, so you want to do something around the shower. Okay, so what are those elements in shower that you need to pay attention to? So I came up with this. So, which is the same thing around whatever the niche that you're looking at. You need to be able to identify, put that niche. In fact, I will tell you, get pen and paper, your book and your pen. Write it down. Don't think it in your head. Don't just type it on the system. Write it down. Write that very keyword or that very niche. Write it down at the center of your paper. Draw a circle around it. And now draw lines out of that circle as if those lines are falling out. And now begin to like, what are those words associated to this very word that I'm trying to write about? Um, Okay, say you're looking at parenting. Okay, what in parenting, what are those words around parenting? Stubborn children. My kids don't sleep at night. Kids wakes up. As in, you need to try and identify as many elements as possible that is associated to what it is you're trying to search about, so that, yes, fine, you do yourself a lot of good the moment you identify what are those words in that space. Then you can now take those words. For instance, let me show you guys this. Say we want to do bathroom remodeling. So this is the first place I always tell everyone to start keyword research from. Go to the king of the floor, Captain Google, and do this. Let me see if I can call this up within this tab. Uh, Go to Captain Google and tell Captain Google, let's see, and tell Captain Google similar words to bathroom remodeling.
Here's a summary from thesaurus.com: makeover, reassembling, rebuilding,
So,
refashioning, remodeling, renovation, reshaping, restoration, revamping, and more.
okay, thank you. All right, so this, by issuing to Google this single word, similar word to bathroom remodeling, what you're doing is automatically, uh, when people are searching, they are not necessarily going to search bathroom remodeling. They could use any one of these words. But because you are not all thinking, you are not all knowing, you will not know how anybody will have written remodeling, bathroom remodeling. So they could have used any of this word: rebuilding, revamping, reshaping, restructuring, and the list goes on. They could have used any one of these words. So what you do is you pick those words that you've been given, and okay, so let me open my notepad here and put it in there. Then we now take, so for the benefit of those who do not have paid tools, is the reason why I'm going to first work in this model. Then I'll tell you guys how to use one of the paid tools I like to use the most. Uh, so we have, so we're trying to deal with bathroom remodeling. It's what is the keyword we're trying to do here. So and in order to get it right, we want to recreate this word and put all those words in Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner is a tool for keyword research, and it is free. So there is no need of I need to pay and all the rest of them. Yeah. Okay, I think within the course of the week, someone also posted something on group, and I did respond, which is you saw another keyword research tool and you were thinking if it is good and all the rest of them. And I did respond to say, it's not the tool, it's the knowledge of the user. The fact that a tool is free or paid, it's not about that. It's about what's the knowledge of the person working with the tool. So I pick on the words that we've created right now, which are the ones we got. The more words you have here, the better, but also note that you cannot have more than 10 words here. If your target location is Nigeria, keep it as Nigeria. If it is global, keep it as global by removing Nigeria and clicking save. If it is US, keep it on US. So, and you click on OK. So US is activated and you say search. Now, based on all this, Google will have a better context of what it is you're trying to write on. So, Google will tell you these are the keywords you've provided. These are similar keywords. These are ideas that it thinks you should write on. And you can look at all of them. And so, right now, we have with just one single thing of bathroom remodeling, which is what we want to write, we now have over 1,700, 1,300 words uh, that we can use and all the rest of them. So you export this by simply clicking on this guy here and telling it download. So it downloads into your system. Now, these words that you will have here, you open them up in Excel. Please and please uh, some few function when it comes to you getting serious with what it is that you do, don't try to do those things on your mobile phone. Try and do them from a desktop, a laptop, or something. So we pick on those keywords, we'll go back to Google, and we now do what I call my own keyword research. I want to find out whether it's competitive, and this is how I filter down whether a keyword is competitive or not. There is argument cut across the board as regarding, yeah, which approach is better. If you're not having a tool to help you, you can just pick on each of all the tools, each of all the keywords that we have, bathroom remodeling, and check this guy. How many content exists online that Google has indexed in their memory that exists? My target is this number should be less than a million. If it's not less than a million, no problem. Maybe it's around 1 point something million. But avoid words that is already 5 million, 10 million, and above for a new blog. Don't do that. Try to fine tune this word. Write something associated with it, alongside with it, in conjunction with it, whether in the front of it or at the back of it, that will make it more extended, often aka described as long tail keywords that will form the basis as to what makes this a structure, and that this, the search result, is less than a million. If it's more than a million, you're going to struggle to really get your content out there. And often than not, the moment this word, the moment the search result is less than a million, you'll be able to rank effortlessly, in the sense that the the other content that exists online, most of all those people will have what is called domain rating, high capacity, page authority, that you effortlessly be able to beat. Why? Because the search volume is less. If the search result rather is low, okay, and Google already tells you the search volume is high and the search result is low. Okay, so let me see if we can understand the two things we're talking about here. Let me see if I can get back into the Google keyword research, the keyword planet, so that we get two things at play here. Okay, so I think that already wipes out. So let me bring that back in. Let me point your attention to some few basic stuff. Oh, okay. I think we were using US as our base country. Right. So Okay, so now Google tells me the monthly average search, meaning the number of people that are looking for this word on a monthly basis is this. Any word that has, as far as I'm concerned, above 1,000 is good. If it's a little bit less than 1,000, not bad. But I would want it to be at least 1,000. It could be like 500, it could be 100, not bad. But at least it shouldn't be zero that nobody is searching for it. So someone did ask, can I just write what I want on my blog? Yes, you can write what you want, but the problem is you are now in danger of writing something that nobody is searching for, or they are not searching for it the way you are writing for it. So given what we've given Google is how Google has given us all this and has also suggested to us these possible ideas. So I can pick on any one of these ones that Google has suggested to us. And also, yes, fine. Often than not, people have argued that yes, fine, you need to write words based on low keyword competition and all the rest of them. The competition here, I've said it again and again, that been mentioned here is competition with the CPC, the guys doing paid advert. In your case, what you're doing is not paid ads. What you're trying to do is get people onto your site using search engine optimization. Organic traffic is what we're targeting here. So, meaning when these people are paying, running paid ads, they will show up on your site, and this forms the basis as to how much they will pay. And don't be deluded. You're not going to pay, Google is not going to pay you this amount of money. You're only going to earn a fraction of this money. I think maybe like 50 or 60% is what you're going to earn. Okay, so you also want to look at, okay, so which of the words do I need to write that has higher CPC? Good, but also good traffic. And when I go to Google and search for it, the search results that Google indicates that is available, can you imagine? This is suicide. If already 44 million content exists online, please, where am I going to start from? So I'm not going to go near this word like this. I will look for another word that could mean the same thing or that could be around the same thing that will help me break into this bathroom remodeling content that I want to write. So pretty much that is how you go by it. This is critical, but of course I understand that one of the major challenges of content writers or content creators generally is how to come up with the words to write. So the best way to come up with words to write is simply pick a word, go to Google and say similar words to this. Google will give you those similar words. Pick on those similar words. Take it to Google. Do a keyword research. Google will automatically like multiply it for you. You would have thousands of keywords that you cannot pick on those thousands of keywords one after the other. Check them like this. See which one has this lower than a million or something thereabout. And now pick those, form a phrase with them, and now write. And this is a simple way of you doing keyword research that doesn't cost you anything. Any question at this point? Okay, I'm guessing no one has a question right now. Okay, so I will go ahead. Also, I'm talking to SEMRush or SEMRush as they call it, or SEMRush, whichever way you put it. So that let me see if they can get us a discounted service or something, so that you guys are able to do tons of keyword research without having to break the bank. But of course, now with the paid tool, you could use SEMrush, Ahref, Uber Suggest, and the list goes on. So let me pull in SEMrush for the benefit of those who have access to the tool and are able to use it for their keyword research. So let me bring it in. Right. So, okay, so let me switch this to SEMrush tab, and so that everyone is able to Okay, let me just do an entire screen so that I don't get switching in and out. All right, so okay, so I have SEMrush on my screen and I want to search things around bathrooms. Um, so I put in the bathroom and I select the country I want to target and I say search. SEMrush returns to me and tells me, whoa, for this very word based on this country, you've got this number, over 1 million words. Okay, so nice. I'm not afraid. And so what I do is I come to this advanced filter and I come to search result. The same search result we were checking up on Google. So I come to search result and I say 1 million is the maximum search result I want. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, and I say I want words that is having at least a count of 2 and search volume should be at least, I want search volume at least 50. I filter this down because SEMrush already has some few algorithm way of checking. Already we have 18,000 from like about the 5, I think like about the 5 billion words it put up initial. So we have 18,000. So I would also say, and this 18,000 are also not having, you can see search volume result, the search result. You can see the search result here, 00. So you could also verify this search result on Google. It could be more, it could be less, but I am very sure what you will have is largely something around, let me see, largely something around 1 million. Where's my Google? Google, 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 come back here. Okay, so if we search that first word that says it's 0, you can see SEMrush did not update their record, so it's more. So don't take any tool, whether Ahref, SEMrush, Uber Suggest, don't take their record don't take it in literal terms. Just take it as a guide, so that you don't overly depend on it and it gives you forceful alarm. So when you have those words, it will only better help you filter down. And what you now do is take on them, go back to Google and verify that the actual result that is available is actually less than what it is you want. And in addition, I will also tell it keyword difficulty. Often they're not, I like to put this at 40. And so that I have keywords on my site that is having weight. I would often say the CPC should be zero point 0.3, no less than zero point 0.3 CPC. And in addition, I'll come to this area and I'll say the keyword density should be no less than zero point 0.5 or zero point 0.4 rather. And so now, basically, I'm very sure when I look at some of all these words right now, they would most likely be less than 1 million in their search results. If it is going to be more, it's going to be somewhere around Jish. You can see a false alarm. This is 60 million. Don't go near it. Not unless you want to write till thy kingdom come before you rank. So you go on and check all those words and all the rest of them and eventually come up with words that you feel make sense to you. And the search result is relatively low. When I say relatively low, it should be around 1 million, possibly better under 1 million. And you're able to output all these and now write. So largely, if you're working with Ahref or SEMrush, when you do your filter, you're also able to export out all the keywords. You have it down available to yourself, and you're able to now go through all the 9,000 keywords and pick on the ones that you feel tickles your fancy, and then of course write on them and get results. So in a nutshell, this is how to do keyword research that you can get results with. Save yourself all the hassles of having to come up with the words if you're not able to. But nevertheless, just like I've said, I will try to make sure that before next week I would have populated a sizable number. I've given myself a target to make sure that I have at least 1,000 niche populated on the blog, so that you guys can go to the blog, look at it, check anyone out that you would want to check out, and pick on anyone you would want to pick on. And of course, in there also you will find all the relative words in the niche that you could use. And when you pick on those words, just like you saw that we did here, pick on those words, go to Google, tell it, Google, give me similar words to this very word. It will give you at least no less than 10 of it. Pick those words, take them into your keyword research tool, and now check. When you check, filter them down, come back to Google search, and confirm that actually those keywords have search volume that is less than 1 million or something thereabout. Then you can pick on those keywords and write on them. So, any questions? All right, please take your question. Mary, go ahead. Mary, I take your question. Okay, so if no one asks a question, oh, okay, I think someone is leaving us a chart here. Okay, no problem. Okay,
Sorry.
no problem. Okay, so I hope this is clear enough to help each and every one of you do better with your keyword research and you're able to output your content. And of course, I know the first week has gone. Do not feel depressed at it. It could be a little bit challenging for the first time, not a problem. Be determined to see this through and you will get result at the end of the day. That is the most important thing. So, we're also going to drill down into some few other advanced functionalities for tomorrow. The class tomorrow is 4 p.m. I will post this video also onto the YouTube channel, so that for those of you who want to revisit it and check on it again, to better clear your thought line. If you have any question, drop it on the Telegram group. I intend not to make this session more than an hour, so that we don't overly drag it. So if there's no questions, we can call this a quit for this session today. Yes, Oguns, I'll take your question.
Um, yes. What if we have a situation where all the tweaking I do for the keyword still end up having over 1 million users and results?
Then you need
Do
to
I
look
just
at the niche you're trying to enter. You need to look at it again. However, there is not such things as a saturated niche.
Yeah,
Is a
the
function of you.
question, sir.
Hold on, Augustine. There is no thing as a saturated niche. All you have to do is look at the niche from multiple dimensions. That's why I said ensure you write this niche. Write it down on a paper. Get a book. Write
Okay,
it down.
sir. I think the challenge I was having then was I could get some words, and when I input them on the keyword planner, it's I would see the said volume. But then when I search for them on Google to know how many articles I've already existed, I'll see that there are so many articles.
Okay. Just like I've said, so that we don't keep
Can you hear
wasting
me, sir?
time. Yes, I can hear you. Just like I've said, so we don't waste time on the same thing. I have seen that one of the major
The
challenge
network.
each and every one
Yeah.
of you have.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you and I'm attending to your question. Okay, so in a response to
Yeah,
your
over a million
Augustine, can you
articles,
listen?
and then I could do some adjustment to that.
Okay, so just listen. I have seen most often than not the challenge a large chunk of you are having is being able to
Okay.
choose the words in your niche. Every niche, I have been doing research right now and I've not found a niche that has less than 500 words. There is none. So, if you are not able to write articles for that niche, it's simply because you do not know well enough about that niche. And that is why it's often suggested write about a niche that you know something about. But however, in order to be able to help everybody, I will, just like I've shown you guys, I will make available on the blog uh, thousands of niches. And in each of the niche, I'm going to make available no less than 500 keywords in that niche. So all you have to do is come there, pick on the niche that you want, go under the keyword for that niche, select it, and do keyword research based on that. If one doesn't work, another one will work. And also to multiply that effect for you, pick on those keywords, go to Google and say, Google, give me similar words to this very word. Pick on those 10 words and now take it to Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner will give you ideas around it because it's now going to better understand what you're trying to look for, which will return to you no less than 1,000 words. And you're able to pick those 1,000 words and now check them as against Google search results. Yes, that is the manual way of you doing keyword research if you're not using a paid tool. But however, if you're using a paid tool such as Ahref, SEMRush, and all the rest of them, you're able to do all these metrics and all this filter in an instance, and at the end of the day, it will give you something sizable that you can write on. Like for instance, we're looking at this and it says guests bathroom ideas could be something you could want to write about, since what we're writing about in this area right now, for instance, is all about bathrooms or shower or something like that. So okay, like this one is telling me, can you imagine, this is over 1 billion. Guy, I am not gonna write anything on this. It's already well loaded. I need to think again if I want to really write about this. But also, at the same time, let me show you guys something, in fact, that I just noticed upon scrolling down. If you're searching for a particular keyword and you notice that when it gives you the result and you scroll down and you check, and the first set of domains that you're seeing here are social media domains, please go ahead and write that word. Go ahead and write that article. If you put up a keyword here, and right now, like you're seeing, it's telling you over 1 billion content exists, and you want to write that keyword, and you come down and check, and you see, just as we're seeing right now, Pinterest, and maybe you see Facebook, Instagram, Quora, and most of all the first 10 what's it called, domains that you're seeing here are social media handles. Please go ahead and write that keyword regardless, because when an article is being shown up on social media, it simply means that article is not in depth. It will have not been written in depth. So you can write on those articles, and all you have to do is do good content creation. And what is the definition of good content creation? We're searching for this. When you come here, often than not, Google will give you people also ask, so that you're able to understand what are the other things people are looking for and you're able to write them. And if you come down to the bottom of the page, often than not, Google will also give you suggested words around the words that you're trying to write about. So you can pick those suggested words and write on it. Or in addition, when you pick that very particular word, you could also go to this simple platform called Answer the Public. When you've resolved that this is what you want to write, and for you to guide yourself on some of all the things that you should write, come to a platform called Answer the Public if you're not using any page tool, and put on the word you want to write here in Answer the Public. Select your targeted country. In this case, we're using the United States. And if it's Nigeria you're using, you can use that IntelliSearch. What Answer the Public will do is go online and go and check what are the words that people are searching for that is around this word, so that those are the things you can now write your content around. So it tells us people are searching for this, and it tells us out of that about 40 of them are questions that require answers. So these are them here. So you could simply click on this to download it. It comes down as an Excel. You can then open it up and look at what is there. Let me drag this back. This is what we just downloaded. You can open it up and check what are people asking about, and you can aggregate all these into like 10 questions all put together, form them into like 10 15 questions, because some of the questions when you look through them they could be repetition of themselves. So you look through them, aggregate 10 questions out of them, use those 10 questions to form the template, the layout of your article that you're writing. And so and of course, just like I've said, do not write an article with dictionary definition that I've noticed on some of you's blog. Don't do that. Don't say. Avoid doing that dictionary definition of things. Try to put your own explanation and your own context into it, because people are searching and they are coming to your blog because to the content you've created because they want to get value from it. So pretty much that's the thing. A lot has been covered in this short pace of time, I can guarantee you. All you have to do is listen in again and ensure that you understand what we're talking about here. This will go a long way to really helping you in your SEO journey, in your content creation. Any questions? All right, so no problem. In the absence of any other questions, I would ensure that this video is loaded on the YouTube channel. I'll be on the Telegram group to try and help you as much as possible. If any one of you have any challenge, please do let us know so that we can see how we can better help you to achieve a goal. Again, this is another 1 week we're looking at. We have our class, most importantly, again for tomorrow, 4 p.m. Please endeavor to ensure that you attend the class and you actually invite someone to join us so that people can learn. And most importantly, target to ensure that you do not miss your next target. Ensure that you're able to meet up to ensure within the course of a week. Target to see that you attempt to write 35 articles within a week. It's very critical, it's very important at your starting stage. Reason being that that will motivate you to be able to get these things done. If you have any questions, do endeavor to buzz me up. And of course, I'll be more than glad to see that I help you get you to where you need to be. So thank you for the session, and I'll be looking out to join you guys on the Telegram group.